as El Mencho. He was one of Mexico's most powerful drug lords. Yesterday, he was killed by Mexican security forces, and what followed was
one of the world's most dangerous men is dead. Nemesio Oseguera, known as El Mencho, Mexico's most powerful drug lord and leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, has been killed in a military operation. But here's what makes this moment critical. His death is
violence. Gunmen linked to El Mencho's cartel blocked roads, torched vehicles, and attacked several cities across the country. Here's a report.
Smoke curls into the sky above a beach resort. A bus burns in the middle of a highway. Passengers run through an airport terminal. This is Mexico today, and it all traces back to one man, Nemesio Oseguera, also known as El Mencho, one of the most powerful and most feared drug lords in Mexican history. El Mencho led the Jalisco New Generation Cartel. It is a criminal organization that grew from a regional gang into one of the most violent cartels in the country. Founded around 2009, it spread across at least 21 Mexican states. The U.S. had placed a $15 million bounty on El Mencho's head. Washington accused his cartel of flooding American streets with heroin and fentanyl, and then he was killed on Sunday in a military operation. Officials say he was wounded in a clash with soldiers and died while being flown to Mexico City. At least 27 Mexican officials and 30 cartel members died in the operation. Several weapons, including rocket launchers, were seized. Authorities say the operation relied on their own military intelligence, with complementary information provided by Washington. But within hours, the cartel members hit back. In the western state of Jalisco, roads have been blocked with burning vehicles. In the city of Guadalajara, shops have been shut and streets are deserted. The violence has quickly spread across several states in the country. Gunmen torch trucks and buses on city highways. Roads sealed, businesses shuttered, and public transport suspended.
Look, now we're scared. We only go out when it's necessary because people don't know whether to go out or what to do.
Security forces have been deployed across affected regions, and the authorities have urged residents to stay indoors. The main objective on this day has been to safeguard the safety of the people. Therefore, early this morning, from this security meeting, which is in permanent session, we activated Code Red, which remains in effect. But the fallout has already spread far beyond the streets. Airports have been affected. Flights have been canceled, and several travelers have been left stranded. At one of the airports, travelers watched smoke rise beyond the runway and rushed inside for cover. India, the United States, and Canada have all advised their citizens in Mexico to exercise caution. Meanwhile, Mexico's president has urged citizens to remain calm.
Today there is more calm, and there is government, there are armed forces, there is a security cabinet, and there is a lot of coordination. So you can rest assured that peace, security, and normality in the country are being safeguarded.
El Mencho's death has removed a central figure
But
from
here's
Mexico's
the geopolitical angle
world.
most people miss.
Yet
El Mencho's death creates a power vacuum right when tensions between Mexico and the U.S. are already fragile. Mexico's government claims military victory. But victory against who exactly? Because the cartel's infrastructure, its supply chains, its distribution networks, its money laundering operations, those didn't die with him. This is where it gets dangerous. History shows us that when major cartel leaders die, what follows is rarely stability. It's fragmentation, internal warfare, and often more violence in the short term. El Mencho consolidated power over more than a decade. He united fractured criminal organizations, disciplined thousands of sicarios, and maintained operational control across multiple Mexican states. He was the glue. Now that glue is gone. Inside JNGC, there are likely several powerful figures waiting in the wings. Some reports suggest El Mencho's son could inherit leadership. Others point to regional commanders who've been building their own power bases. But here's the critical question. Will the organization hold together or splinter? If it fragments, we could see internal cartel warfare as different factions fight for control. That means more bloodshed in Mexican cities. If a single successor consolidates power quickly, we might see a brief consolidation before a new equilibrium emerges. Either way, the fentanyl pipeline doesn't stop, it just gets reorganized. And there's a third possibility nobody's discussing. El Mencho's death could trigger a larger regional war. Rival cartels, the Sinaloa cartel, the Gulf cartel, are watching. They might see this as an opportunity to seize JNGC territory and market share. So here's what we know. El Mencho's death is a symbolic victory for Mexico's military and a diplomatic win for the U.S. But operationally, structurally, the drug war machinery keeps running. Mexico's government will declare this a turning point. The U.S. will claim a major win against transnational crime. But the real story unfolds in the coming weeks and months, in how JNGC reorganizes, in how other cartels respond, and in whether fentanyl flows into America increase or decrease. This is the moment that will define Mexico's next chapter of cartel violence. And here's where we want to hear from you. Who do you think will fill El Mencho's shoes? Will JNGC stay unified under a new leader, or will it splinter into multiple factions? Drop your prediction in the comments below. Seriously, we read every single comment, and the best analysis often comes from our community. If you found this breakdown valuable, hit that subscribe button. We're covering this story as it develops, and the next 72 hours will be critical. You won't want to miss the updates. Thanks for watching.